And the next day I was in the Clare Valley, and Triggy rang me and said, look, hey, mate, sorry to tell you, but you've missed out. We've gone for the other guy who was, I can't remember his name, a guy who worked for Channel 9 who was only there for about 6 months. He said, but there's a job going at the Port Adelaide Magpies, CEO's job.
Well, that was good of him, at least, in that regard.
Yeah, which he said, I'd encourage you if you really want to get involved in footy. It's a good place to start to get involved. He gave me a bit of background as to what was going on. You know, it was the same. It was basically the year that the Power and the Magpies were merging.
Yep.
There's a whole lot of stuff going on there. He said, and I remember him saying that, you'll learn a hell of a lot in the next 12 months. So anyway, cut a long story short, I went for that job, got it, and stayed there for the year. The merger happened, which was great for Port, and then Glenn Elliott literally tapped me on the shoulder in a CEO's meeting with the SANFL one day and said, hey, mate, you're not going to stay at Port Adelaide now, are you? And I said, oh, look, probably not. The merger's happened. I want to retain a football role somewhere in the SANFL. He said, well, maybe you and I need to talk about you coming over to North Adelaide. And because Glenn was the CEO.
Yes.
So I said, okay. So we went and caught up. And so I started at North. The deal was that I had a year as the football manager, because Glenn had been appointed, or soon enough was appointed, as the CEO of Adelaide United.
That's right, yeah.
So I went to North, was working with Glenn on the football program as football manager, and then the board, as we sort of agreed when I first got there, Glenn moved on and I moved up into his spot in 2010.
So did Port Adelaide not sort of indicate having a role for you with that new structure?
Yeah, I think back then there was an opportunity to take a commercial position with the Power, because my job obviously became redundant.
Yep.
But it just wasn't what I wanted. I mean, they were terrific, and Matty Richardson and all those guys. I enjoyed being there and all that sort of stuff. But once the merger happened and the Magpies were sort of then going to be part of the Power, and all those roles were disappearing, I wanted to stay really closely linked to footy and the team, and no, that football role probably wasn't available at the Power at that time in any sense. So that was fair enough.